Hello everyone. Today we're going to discuss the techniques of scientific management as given by F.W. Taylor. In this slide, we're going to list all the 6 techniques as given by him. The first is functional foremanship, standardization of work, simplification, scientific study of work, differential wage system, and mental revolution. So the first technique of functional foremanship is simply an extension of Henry Fayol's principle of division of work, or we can also call it the principle of specialization. So as per F.W. Taylor, he says that the work of the factory manager in the business is divided into 2 different sub-departments, and those 2 sub-departments are planning department and production department. And the various experts in the planning department, the production department, we're going to discuss that in the next slide. Over here, basically what we'll study is that the experts in the planning department, they would be concerned about making plans, and the experts in the production department, they would concern themselves with the execution of those plans and making sure that the work being performed is done in an efficient manner. While people in the planning department would be more inclined towards making plans for the business so that the business runs efficiently and with the least cost of production. This slide explains the 4 different experts or the supervisors in the planning department. The first one is route clerk, then is instruction card clerk, time and cost clerk, and discipline officer, or we can also say disciplinarian. So the route clerk, his main task is to ensure the sequence of completing a particular work, and he also decides what job is to be done, when it is to be done, what's going to be the sequence of performing different tasks in completing one particular job. Then comes instruction card clerk. This clerk prepares the instruction cards, and his main job is to assign instructions to the different workers so that they understand the nature of the work, the procedure of doing the work, what kind of materials are to be used, and the details about the machinery as to how the machinery is to be used. Next is time and cost clerk. This clerk decides as to when a particular work is to be started and when it is to be finished. He keeps a complete record of the whole time that is taken at the workplace to complete all the different jobs. It is also decided at the same time at what cost the product will be produced. Means to say that this time and cost clerk also keeps track of the cost sheets at the workplace. The fourth one is the disciplinarian. The main task of the discipline officer is to make sure that all the workers working in the organization or in the department, they abide by the rules and they perform all the tasks in a disciplined manner. Production department. The various supervisors in the production department are gang boss, speed boss, repair boss, and inspector. First of all, we're going to discuss the gang boss. So gang boss is the leader whose main job is to ensure that all the workers and the machines are fit enough for production, and all the workers, they understand the instructions, and there is proper coordination and cooperation between all other supervisors in both planning department and the production department. He ensures that workers are doing their job and they are understanding and performing according to the standards. Next is speed boss. The main function of the speed boss is to ensure that all the workers who are working in the department, they are performing at the required or the expected speed. They are starting their job at the required time and they are finishing the task at the expected time. Next is repair boss. The main purpose of the repair boss is to keep the machines and tools in the working condition. So in case there is any breakdown in machine or in any of the production processes, he is the one who takes care of that. Fourth one is inspector. He inspects the things produced and compares their quality with the standards. In case there are any differences, he's the one who takes an initiative and takes corrective action. Standardization of work. This can be understood in 4 different ways. The first one is standardized material, which means that the raw material and other materials that are used in order to produce the goods, they should be of the required quality so that to produce the finished goods of that required quality only. Second is standardized machines and tools. These should be of the required quantity and type in order to produce the finished goods of desired quality. For example, if we need to produce a particular product of quality A, so in order to produce the finished good of quality A, we should be using raw material of quality A and the machines and tools that are required to produce the finished good of quality A. We cannot use the raw material of quality B or quality C or quality D, and we cannot even use the machines and tools of a quality which would produce finished goods of quality B, C or D. It has to be in cohesion with the finished good quality only. Next is standardized methods. The methods and processes determined to complete the task are standardized as well in order to bring uniformity in the production. In order to produce the finished good of quality A, the methods and processes that are used should also match quality A only. Next is standardized working conditions. So working conditions which are required to produce a certain quality of finished goods should be used. For example, temperature. So if we want to have temperature of say 30 degrees Celsius in order to produce any product, we cannot have a temperature which is less than 30 degrees or more than 30 degrees or maybe minus 20 degrees or minus 10 degrees or 10 degrees. So we cannot have that temperature. Lighting, cleanliness, ventilation. So all these things are standardized, and that is what is required in order to produce a standardized finished good. Simplification. It means to keep the work and the work processes simple and easy so that it is understood by each and every person working in the department. So if there are say 50 workers working in the department, the processes, the methods, the task, the job, it is explained in such a manner and the steps are broken down into smaller units so that everybody understands that. And also, one person is given one duty to do. When every day he performs that duty, it becomes simple for him and becomes standardized, and he becomes a specialized person in that particular job. So when he does that job every day, it becomes simple and easier for that person to perform it. So this is similar to the division of work or specialization principle as given by Henry Fayol in his 14 Principles of Management. Scientific study of work. This is broken down into 4 different parts: method study, motion study, work study, and fatigue study. The first one is method study. The main objective of this study is to minimize the cost of production and maximize the quality and level of customer satisfaction. Motion study. It refers to study the number of movements that the workers make in order to perform a job. For example, if my job is to move a chair from one corner of the room to another corner, so there are different ways in which I can perform that job. I can go diagonal, I can go straight and then take a left turn, I can walk straight and then take a right turn. So there are 3, 4, 5 different ways of performing that job. So it is studied that which one way is the best way to perform the job in order to be efficient with respect to time, with respect to efforts, and with respect to money. The third is work study. This study is conducted in order to measure the time required to complete a job. So this would study as to how much time is being taken to perform a job. So whatever is the optimum time that should be taken is studied, and that is what is communicated to the workers, and that's how they're expected to perform their job. Fatigue study. It refers to study the duration and frequency of rest intervals in order to complete a job. So it depends upon how hard the task is, how much effort is required in order to perform a job. Differential wage system. It is also known as differential piece rate system. In this system, there are two different wage rates that are set: high wage rate and low wage rate. So what happens in this system is that a standard quantity of production is fixed by the employer. Let's say if the employer fixes the quantity as 10 units per hour. So the worker has to produce 10 units each hour. And there are two wage rates, hourly wage rates, that are set. Let's say it's $20 and $18. $20 is the higher wage rate and $18 would be the lower wage rate. And the number of units to be produced per hour is 10 units. So any worker who is producing either 10 or more than 10, let's say 11, would get paid according to $20 per hour. In this case, 20 multiplied by 11, it's going to be $220, which will be paid to the worker per hour. But in case somebody who is producing, let's say, not 10 units and 9 units, will get $162 per hour, because the worker will be paid according to $18. So in this case, see, anybody who's producing only 2 units lesser than or 1 unit lesser than the standard one is getting $162, is being paid according to 18, and anybody who is producing 10 units or more than 10 units will be paid according to 20 per hour. According to Taylor, a revolution is required in the mindset of the employer and the employees, both, as it promotes cooperation and coordination among them and hence improves the ultimate profitability of the business, which in fact is the ultimate objective, the main objective of running a business.